is up, everybody? My name is Logan Strome. Welcome to CTF Strome Talks Football. Today I'm going to be giving you guys my Christmas movie tier list. I was going to do a football-related video today, but here's the reason why I'm doing a Christmas one today. So far in this week in the NFL, it's been pretty crazy. So far I've been undefeated in all my picks. And, here's the thing about this, man. People that get overly angry that I get a pick right, and, fans that, get mad about their team, I know it sucks, but fans that get mad at me for getting a pick right, you guys need to chill out. It's football. We're all gonna pick differently. It's all in the good of fun. We all love this sport. Let's just try to have fun with it. We only get this 6 or 7 months out of the year. I'm not calling anybody out either. I'm just saying everybody that enjoys the sport, I know it sucks when your team loses. I've experienced it myself. I get it. But don't take out your anger on other people, because some people are just trying to have fun too, and it just makes it less fun for the other individual. Again, not calling anybody out, but you guys need to chill out. So to lighten the mood today, I'm going to be doing my Christmas movie tier list just because yesterday was just pretty crazy. So let's get back into the Christmas spirit again. So don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos whenever I post. With all out of the way, let's get started. So here we are at the tier list. At the very top, we've got legendary. Below that, we've got great. Below that, we've got good. Below that, we've got bad. Below that, we've got horrible. And at the very bottom, we've got never watched. And there are a good amount of these I haven't seen yet. The two popular ones I haven't seen yet are Scrooged and Gremlins. I see these movies a lot on people's lists, so I'll get around to those eventually. But all these other ones aren't really big Christmas movies. I don't feel like they should count, and obviously I haven't seen most of them. And then also the spin-off Home Alone movies, I've seen them, but we already know how horrible those movies are. They're not real Home Alone movies. We'll get to Home Alone, how great, the originals are when we get to the list. Even though there's a lot of movies I haven't seen, there are a lot of movies I have seen, and we are able to rank today, so let's get started. The first one we've got is A Christmas Carol, a classic Christmas movie. There's a lot of movies that tell, this story, but this one in particular is not my favorite. I don't really remember what happens in this version. It's the Jim Carrey, Disney version, so I don't really remember all of it. I'll have to rewatch it, but, I'll just put it in the middle just because, I haven't seen it yet, so it would be kind of unfair to rank it fully. I've seen it, but not really fully. As a matter of fact, I'm going to change this category to decent, so it's a little bit more balanced. So, yeah, I'm just going to put this one in decent for now. Next one we got is A Christmas Story, absolute classic. I'm going to put this one in legendary, because it is a legendary Christmas movie. You can't go wrong. Story about a kid named Ralphie that wants a BB gun more than anything. Everyone tells him he can't, and he'll shoot his eye out. Famous Christmas line right there. Dealing with family drama, dealing with bullies at school. It's all such great fun, dude. This whole movie's really entertaining. I love this one. Next one we've got is The Charlie Brown Christmas. This is definitely another classic one, too. I'm going to put this one in great just because it's not too long, and it's very sweet, but it's, not, one of my favorites to watch, every year. I'll watch it every year, of course, but, it's not, my go-to, you know what I mean? It's really good, but it's not, up with, this category right here. You'll see some of the, the legendaries that belong up here. Next movie we've got is Bad Santa. Now, throughout most of my life, I have never seen this movie, and I've never checked it out until this year, and I am so glad I did, because this movie is absolutely hysterical. I'm not going to put it in legendary, but it's really, really damn good. Bad Santa played by Billy Bob Thornton, so if you've already seen his movies, you already know what he's all about. Him and Marcus, who's also played by Tony Cox, steal from malls every holiday season to make money. And then they try to steal from this mall in Chicago, and they pull this stunt every single holiday season until, Christmas night, where Billy Bob Thornton is Santa, and Tony Cox is the elf, and it's so hilarious. All the jokes that are in this one are hilarious. And then one day, Billy Bob Thornton meets up with this kid named Thurman Merman, who is also hilarious in this one. Basically a bullied kid who is basically an only child living in his grandma's house. And Billy Bob Thornton basically just lets himself into his grandma's house and just lives there. Just funny stuff, man. So many quotable lines from this one. There's a second one that's not on this list. That one's hilarious too, but the first one is obviously better. Like, if you haven't seen this movie, like, you have to wait till, like, you're the right age, because this movie is rated R. Like, there's a lot of cussing in it and, like, a lot of nasty stuff in it. But when you're the right age, like, you gotta check this one out. It's hilarious. Next movie we've got is Die Hard. Like, you already know how Die Hard is with Christmas. Like, it's such a controversial topic on if this is a Christmas movie or not. I think it is. Even though at school I used to give people crap for saying it's a Christmas movie just to get on their nerves. Like, I know, I was kind of a shithead in school. But yeah, I think this is a Christmas movie, and I think it's one of the best Christmas movies of all time. I'm going to put it up here. The action in this movie is some of the best action you'll ever see in, like, an action movie. Like, in my opinion, like, this movie is so entertaining to watch. There's a second one. I haven't seen the second one, but I just know the first one from a lot of people that have told me reigns supreme. Like, people say the second one's decent, but the first one's where it's at. Bruce Willis does such a great job with playing John McClane. Like, it's so good, man. Like, if you haven't checked this one out, please do. It's so entertaining. Next one we've got is Elf, another classic one, and another one I would consider being one of the best of all time, one of my absolute favorites. So this movie's about Buddy the Elf, who is played by Will Ferrell, and he plays this character perfectly. Like, just like a grown man adult acting like this elf child. It's hysterical. It's about Buddy the Elf, who was an orphan as a baby, and when Santa was delivering gifts one night, Buddy the Elf crawled in his sleigh and his bag of gifts, and he ends up being in the North Pole and basically living in the North Pole his whole life. Until finally, when he was a grown adult, Santa sends Buddy the Elf to find his lost dad, who was on the naughty list, and he goes to New York where his father lives, and it's just such funny stuff, man. It's charming, it's hilarious, it's a really good feel movie. Like, it's a really good one. You gotta check it out. Next one we've got is Four Christmases. I actually watched this one fairly recently, and I thought it wasn't bad. I wouldn't say it was my favorite, but it was a pretty decent movie. Like, there's some stuff in it that are pretty funny. Like, it's not my favorite movie out there, but I'd much rather watch it than some of the movies I'm going to put on this list later. So, I think it's a pretty decent one. Like, it's not my favorite, but it's not bad. Next one we got is Frosty the Snowman, an absolute classic. It's, like, one of those short films that are, like, from, like, the 60s or 70s that are, like, the animated Christmas classics. I watch this one every year. It's great stuff. I love Frosty the Snowman's character. Basically, the hat comes from a magician, like a very goofy magician, like that was at a class party for Christmas, and he loses the hat. The kids make a snowman in the snow, puts the hat on top of him, and there you go. It's Frosty the Snowman. Absolutely, it's pretty funny. It's very charming. Great stuff, man. Next one we've got is Home Alone. Well, if you're going to put it any lower than legendary, I would tell you you're crazy, because this is arguably the best Christmas movie of all time. It's not my favorite Christmas movie of all time, but, like, we'll get to that later, but this is one of the best Christmas movies of all time. The plot is very simple. This kid named Kevin, who was played by Macaulay Culkin, who is already considered one of the best child actors to ever live, like, is basically, like, the youngest child in the family. Like, everybody is like a bunch of assholes, like, and they're all going on this huge family vacation to Paris, and every single one of his siblings mistreat him. He gets bullied, and it just starts a whole family argument, and the family just, like, gets all pissed at him, treats him like crap, and then Kevin is like, if I ever go on vacation, I would not spend it with you guys. I wish you all disappear. Like, I don't want to be with you guys anymore. Like, I hope you guys all disappear. So the family all go on vacation, and they completely forget Kevin at his house. Like, they forgot him at home. They're all in Paris while Kevin is home alone at his house. And these two robbers are trying to break into their house. So at the end, Kevin just sets up these crazy traps for both of these robbers, and it's just a hysterical riot at that point. And the whole movie is really entertaining. It's really damn good. You gotta see it. Next one we got is Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Another hilarious one. Another all-time classic. Arguably better than the first one. I would say the first one's a little better, but this one's elite too. So this time the family's going to Florida for vacation. Like, again, like a couple of their siblings bully Kevin, and honestly, Kevin wasn't even that bad of a child in this one, and he was absolutely right in this movie, in my opinion. And the mom, for some reason, like not even remembering what happened in the first movie, doesn't believe Kevin and sends him to his room on punishment. And Kevin gets upset and says, once again, if I was on vacation, I would not want to spend it with any of you guys. And once again, the family leaves for vacation to Florida, but this time Kevin actually doesn't get forgotten. But he does accidentally go in the wrong terminal, going to New York while the family is in Florida. And somehow, some way, those same two robbers that broke out of prison end up in New York. It's so hilarious. The trap scenes in this one are honestly better than the first one. Like, it's such a great movie. Like, you gotta watch both of these. Watch the first one first, but then after that, watch the second one. Don't watch any of those shitty ones at the end. Just watch the first one and the second one. Those are where it's at. Next one we've got is How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Now, I am not a big fan of Dr. Seuss, and I'm not a big fan of, like, any, like, the movies they try to do. But How the Grinch Stole Christmas is different for me. I think this is the only one that works, and I really like the classic movie. It's really charming. I'm going to put it in great. Like, if you want to sit back and just watch a short classic Christmas movie, like, this is one of the best ones you can watch. Like, it's basically the Grinch who hates the Whovilles, and he wants to basically steal Christmas for them. So he dresses up as Santa, robs every single house, and tries to take all their decorations and their presents away. Like, it's really charming. Obviously, the Grinch song is really catchy. Like, this whole movie is great. Like, you gotta watch it. Next movie we've got is How the Grinch Stole Christmas, but the Jim Carrey version, basically like the live action one. This one is really good. This is my favorite Grinch movie out of all three of them. We'll get to the other one later. Obviously, you can tell Jim Carrey plays the Grinch, who is possibly the greatest, like, actor you can put for the Grinch, and he plays this character extremely well. Like, he's already told us how much he hated putting on that makeup and stuff, though, so he's not going to try to make a second one unless it's, like, technology-based, so I understand him on that part. But when he did make this movie, he was so entertaining, he was so funny, this whole movie was so great, man. Like, it puts, like, a little bit of a backstory to him, like, in this one, like, to where he was bullied as a child, and that's what made him hate the Whovilles and Christmas, which makes so much more sense. It adds such a good, like, story to it. Like, I really enjoyed this one. Like, I like the story it adds on with this one. Like, it's really good stuff. And it makes you side with the Grinch more, too, like, which is what I like. Next one we've got is A Wonderful Life. Like, I know this one's a classic, but I am not the biggest fan with this one. And I would put it in bad, but I feel like if I put this one in bad, everyone would attack me. So I'm just going to put it in decent. I just wasn't the biggest fan of this one. Like, when I watched it, I just was kind of bored with it. Like, it just wasn't my favorite. Like, that's all it is. It just didn't stick out to me. It just was not my favorite. It's solid, though. Next movie we've got is Jingle All the Way. Can we just all agree that this movie sucks? Like, this movie is so bad, man. Like, this movie is so bad. It's not charming. It's not funny. Good God, is it not funny? Like, none of this movie is funny. Like, I just do not like this one at all. I hate I just don't care for the Turbo Man concept. Like, I just don't like this one. Next one we've got is Love Actually. I think this is a bad movie as well, but I wouldn't say it's as bad as Jingle All the Way, so I'm just gonna put it right here. I just never thought, like, the romance in this movie was believable. I didn't think this movie was entertaining. Like, I just don't care for this movie. Like, I would not listen or watch this movie, like, wrapping presents or watching this movie as a whole during Christmas season. Like, this is a main skip for me. Like, I don't care for this one. Next one we've got is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. This is one of my favorites. Like, I love this movie to death. This is one of these movies out there where I would actually watch it when it's not Christmas time because it's so entertaining, man. It's about this family of the Griswolds who love Christmas more than anything. They try to decorate their house. They have family staying over. Like, it's such a comedic riot. Like, all the comedy in this one is so great. Like, it has a little bit of swear words, so if you're a little kid, maybe skip this one for now, but, like, when you get a little older, like, you will understand how great this movie is. Like, it's so funny. It's physically funny. Like, all the jokes are hilarious. Like, it's one of the best Christmas movies there is. Like, you have to check it out. It's a must-watch for Christmas time. Next one we've got is The Polar Express. Now, here it is. This is what I consider the greatest Christmas movie of all time. This is my absolute favorite Christmas movie there ever is. I'm putting it up here. There's nothing better than this one in my opinion. I know this one's a little controversial just because some people don't really care for this one and people think the animation is kind of creepy. The animation is very different and it's kind of crazy thinking this movie came out in 2004. Like, it almost looked live action. Like, when I was little, I thought this movie was live action the whole time. But you just really have to listen to this, like, movie story to get it. Like, Tom Hanks, who basically is, like, the whole movie, is phenomenal in this movie. This is one of his best works, like, he's ever put on in his career. Like, this movie is so entertaining. Like, this movie is pretty funny. This movie is a very good feel movie. Like, everything about it just screams, like, Christmas. Like, this is my opinion on The Polar Express. The best time to watch this movie is Christmas Eve. Like, that's what I'm doing right now. I haven't seen this one yet this year. Like, I'm waiting till Christmas Eve to watch this movie. Like, watching this movie on Christmas Eve night is so satisfying, man. Like, it makes this movie feel so much more special. Like, this is by far my favorite Christmas movie, and I don't think anything can top it. Next one we've got is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, another classic, like, short movie. This one's better than Frosty the Snowman, in my opinion. This one is also really good. This one portrays the story of Rudolph. Like, it's told very well. And who basically does all the music and the narrating is Burl Ives, who already has some great Christmas carols in this one. Like, it's really good. I really love all the characters in this one, too. Like, you obviously got Rudolph, you've got Hermie the Elf, you've got Yukon Cornelius. Like, it's all really good, man. Like, it's really old. It maybe hasn't aged the best, but, like, it's such a classic, man. You have to watch this one every single year. Next one we've got is The Muppet Christmas Carol. This one's a really good one. Like, this one's a really good way of telling the story of the Christmas Carol. I'm going to put it in great, but, again, it's not my favorite version. My favorite version of the Christmas Carol, which sadly isn't on this list, is Mickey's Christmas Carol. Like, you'll find that on Disney Plus or Amazon. Like, you gotta check that one out. It came out in, like, around the 70s, so it's a classic. Like, basically, like Ebenezer Scrooge McDuck is, like, Scrooge. Like, it's really good stuff. You gotta check that one out, but we're getting off topic. I really like the Muppets enough, and I think them as the Muppet Christmas Carol, like, it works really well. I think the story is told very well. Like, you have to watch it. Like, if you're a big Muppet fan, this is a must-watch every single year, which, I like the Muppets decently enough, but, like, I'm not going to watch this one, like, every single year. It's really good, but it's not a must-watch. Next one we've got is The Nightmare Before Christmas. This one is a really controversial one. Like, this is also seen as, like, a Halloween movie, but also as a Christmas movie. But this one is so controversial because some people view it as a classic and it's really good. And then the other side views it as not that great and it really hasn't aged well. I am on that other side of things. I just never cared for this movie. Like, I'll put it in decent because it'd be kind of wrong. I wouldn't say it's bad. I just don't care for it. Like, I just don't care for the story. Like, I think the animation looks really bad for the 90s. And, like, also, it just doesn't, like, it's not that interesting to me. Like, I love the songs well enough. Like, the songs in this one are bops. But I just don't care for this movie at all. Like, I like Jack Skellington, but I just don't care for the movie. Like, it's not my favorite at all. Next one we've got is The Santa Claus. This one's a classic. Tim Allen as Santa. Like, it's really entertaining. I'll put it up here. I don't think it belongs in Legendary, but it's really good stuff. So basically, Tim Allen's just like that boring dad as such. Like, his son Charlie, like, really doesn't, like, have a bond with him. And Charlie spends the night with him Christmas Eve. And then they wake up to Santa walking on the roof. They scare him. He falls off the roof. He's basically dead. So basically, Tim Allen is now the Santa, and he doesn't believe it at first, and he slowly finds out that he's the new Santa Claus, and it's actually really entertaining just because it matches well with North Pole stuff with like the real life stuff in this movie. Like it's really entertaining. Like I get a little annoyed with Charlie in this one, and I don't really care for the stepdad in this one. Like I forgot his name, but like it's just kind of annoying for in that aspect. But most of it is really entertaining. Like you have to watch this. Next one we've got is Christmas with the Cranks. This is another movie Tim Allen does during Christmas time, and I don't like this one at all. I think this one is garbage. Never found this one entertaining at all. It's basically about this couple that doesn't want anything to do with Christmas, and they're just trying to block Christmas out of their home. It's not entertaining at all. I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's a good Christmas movie. I just think this movie is not a good one at all. Like, again, like if you like this movie, great. But for me, I don't ever see myself watching this during Christmas time. It's a big skip. Next one we've got is the Santa Claus 2, the sequel to Tim Allen's Santa Claus, and I really like this one. I'm not going to put it up here, but I'm going to put it up here. Like, it's another great one. I arguably say it's better than the first one. I don't think I would say that, like, yet, but this one is really good. So basically, Tim Allen's Santa now, and he finds out, like, if he doesn't get married by Christmas Eve, he can no longer be Santa, so he's going out to his hometown to find a wife, as well as Charlie's a lot older now. He's basically, like, middle school, high school, and he is on the naughty list, so he has to go back home to see what's going on, also find a wife, and so they hire a toy Santa to keep charge of the North Pole, and he's basically the villain. Like, it's basically Tim Allen, but, like, kind of crazy. Like, he gives me a lot of Buzz Lightyear vibes, like, when he found out he couldn't fly, like, in the first movie. Like, it's really funny. Like, I really like this one. And it introduces a lot of new characters that I really like in this one, too. Like, give this one a shot. Like, this one's really good. Next one we've got is How the Grinch Stole Christmas, but this one is made by Illumination Studios. This version is terrible. I mean, the animation in this movie is gorgeous. Like, that's the only thing I'll say about this movie that I'll give, like, praise to. But it's just so boring, and, like, the story, like, is not good in this one. So they're trying to do what they do in the Jim Carrey version, try to give him, like, a backstory. But this one is just so bad and, like, basically rushed. Like, it's not believable. And plus, the Grinch's the voice casting in this one is god awful. Like, whoever voiced the Grinch, like, it's so awkward. Like, it doesn't even sound like menacing or, like, funny or charming. It just sounds really awkward. And then, like, the first two Grinch movies, you can tell that he was, like, kind of, like, evil and, like, mean. This one, he's just a grumpy figure. Like, he's not even all that threatening. Like, all he does is, like, walk in a store and, like, knock over, like, a jar so somebody couldn't get a jar or something. Oh, like, he's not all that friendly. Like, the first two movies, like, the Grinch was actually threatening. Like, this one's a joke. Like, don't even bother watching this one. This movie is so boring, and there's so much wrong with this movie. Like, don't watch it at all. Next one we've got is Just Friends, which is another movie that's pretty controversial on if this is a Christmas movie or not. I believe it is, and it's really good. It's really entertaining. So basically, the main character of this one is Ryan Reynolds, who plays as Chris Brander, who was best friends with Jamie Palomino, who was played by Amy Smart. And in high school, like, Ryan Reynolds was all out of shape and fat, but these two were best friends. But Ryan Reynolds was having some serious feelings for her, and he was having a hard time telling her. He wrote it, like, what he felt about her in his yearbook. Bullies took the yearbook and basically made fun of him. He basically ran off, never talking to any of those people again, became really in shape and thin, making tons of money as a music producer, but he was forced to date this really crazy musician who crash landed in Ryan Reynolds' hometown, and he basically meets up with all his, like, high school friends again, and meets up with his best friend again. And he still has a hard time trying to tell her what he really feels about her. Like, it's a really good feel movie. Like, it's really entertaining stuff. Like, you have to watch it. Next one we've got is Christmas Chronicles. Now, this is a Netflix, like, special. Like, it's a Netflix-only movie. Like, so you have to have, like, Netflix to watch it. So you're already thinking this one's not going to be great. But honestly, trust me, watch this movie if you get the chance. Like, you have to give this one a chance. I think this one might be controversial to some, but this is one of my favorite Christmas movies as well. So basically, Kurt Russell is played Santa Claus in this one, like, which is another like really good like actor to play Santa. He plays it super well. He's really funny, and basically these two kids who are true believers. Their dad passed away. The oldest is basically just a kind of an asshole now, getting into trouble, and their mom who works at the hospital, had to stay at the hospital for Christmas Eve. So they try to catch Santa on the act at their house. They do, and they end up jumping in a sleigh, and they crash land in Chicago, and they try to find all of like the reindeer and stuff to try to deliver the gifts and get home. It's really entertaining just seeing like all the stuff like what's related with Chicago in this one. They bring out like a lot of nostalgia with like all the old stuff, like with Christmas gifts and like how Chicago used to be like during Christmas time, and still like it's a really good movie. It's a really underrated one. You have to check it out. Next one we've got is Noelle, which is like the very first Disney Plus special movie. Like this was when Disney Plus was like brand new, and they came out with this Disney Plus Christmas special. The main character is Anna Kendrick, and I think it's decent. Like it's not bad. Like it's not bad, but like it's not the most entertaining. But it's honestly not that bad to watch. So basically, Noelle's brother, who is the next in line for Santa, and Noelle's the sister, who's also an elf. Like, so basically, like they're just trying to figure out like how to become Santa and Mrs. Santa. Like, it's really entertaining, honestly. Like I don't remember all the plot just because I haven't watched it in so long. But like when I watched it, like it was pretty entertaining, so I'd check it out. Next one we've got is the Santa Claus 3. Now, I really wished like Tim Allen and the Santa Clauses would stop after the second one, because that was like a perfect run, and then they had to make this one, and this one's not that great. I'm gonna put it in bad. So basically the main villain of this one is Jack Frost, which is interesting enough, and basically Jack Frost tries to rule the North Pole, and he sends Tim Allen Santa back to where he was like never Santa in the first place, which is an interesting concept, but it was just not done well. Plus, all the side characters in this one were like especially annoying in this one. Like I don't understand. Like this movie just felt off. So honestly, if you're gonna watch all the Tim Allen Santa Clauses, just watch the first and second one and just skip the third one. Like the third one's not really entertaining. Like, it's not that great. And don't you dare go to Disney Plus and watch the Santa Claus show. Like that is awful by itself. Like don't even watch that. Like it's terrible. Next one we've got is Santa Claus is Coming to Town, which is another like classic like animated one, just like Rudolph and Frosty. But I didn't really care for this one. Like it's decent. Like it's not that bad, but it's not my favorite. I've only watched this like a couple times throughout my life at like home or like at Christmas parties at school, and every single time I just found this one kind of boring. Like it's just not my favorite. Like it's decent, but it's not my favorite. And the last one we've got, I almost didn't include this one, but I did just because I like think this one is so entertaining. But the SpongeBob Christmas special, it's so entertaining, man. It's so nostalgic to me. I love this. Like I love this special. Like I already love SpongeBob SquarePants enough, and then like he makes a Christmas special. Like it's so nostalgic, man. Like I used to watch this all the time when I was little at like school or whenever it was like on Nickelodeon at home. Like it was so entertaining, man. Like if I ever find this like at home like on TV, I will watch this. Like it's so nostalgic. It's so good. And there you guys have it. That was my Christmas movie tier list. I'm going to let you guys get one last look at it. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know in the comments on where you think these movies would go in your list, and let me know in the comments what your favorite Christmas movie is. I would love to know. And that is where I'm going to be done for the day. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, turn on notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos whenever I post. Enjoy Monday Night Football, the two games that are on, even though they might not be that good tonight. But enjoy watching the football games tonight. I'm Logan Strone. I'll see you next time.